Hey guys, how's it going? I have Masterpiece Soundwave here in his box, and comes in an absolutely huge box. This thing is ginormous. As you can see on the front of the box, we've got a picture of Soundwave in robot mode, and we also have him in boombox mode, and we got 5 cassettes in cassette mode. And just says Transformer Soundwave. Turn this around. We got his tech specs and a blurb about him. On the back here we just have more photos. And on the side we've got part of a Decepticon logo, and it says 9 of 30. I think that's a reference to the Thrilling 30 they're doing this year. And now I'm going to go ahead and take this beast out of the box. I don't normally unbox in the videos because you can normally see in them, but this is a little bit different. As you can see, this one piece here is just a cardboard sleeve. And it can just pop right off. And then there is the box without the sleeve, and that looks pretty cool. We got some Japanese characters, says Transformers Masterpiece and Soundwave. And the flap just opens up here on the top of the box. And he comes. Well, box just fell over. The dog's investigating, but that's okay. Oh, Max, you need to get out of the way, please. Oh, thank you, Max. Anyway, there he is in all his plastic glory. We've got the 5 cassettes in cassette mode. We've got their weapons. We got Soundwave's weapons. We got all kinds of stuff. Really like the way they packaged this guy. I think they did a great job. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, get him out of his plastic prison, and I'll be back with him in cassette mode. Or, I'm sorry, tape player mode. Okay guys, here we have Soundwave transformed and into his cassette mode. I just want to apologize a little bit in advance here for the shaky cam. I had an issue with my tripod. It's kind of broken, so just wanted to, apologize for the shaky cam. When I finally get around to his robot mode, I will have a different tripod and this won't be an issue. Anyway, you're probably wondering why his arm here is stuck up like this. Well, there's a very simple reason why. Unfortunately, whenever I try to lock his arm in, his side kind of pops off. And that is a real issue. I've tried to transform him correctly many times, and it still just refuses to lock down correctly. It's a real pain in the butt. And that is a bit of a mark against the figure, at least mine. I don't know if they're all like that, but I tried for probably a half hour or so just trying to get that to line up properly. I tried a million different approaches, didn't have any luck. But to be honest, I didn't really buy him for his alt mode, so it's not the end of the world. Anyway, I do like the way his cassette mode looks. It does look really good, and in fact, one thing I've done here is I actually have G1 Laserbeak in there to show the compatibility with the old cassettes. It's the same size. Go ahead, just take you around on his alt mode here, at least. What I have is his alt mode. I do think it looks pretty good, except for the fact that we got that gap there. Anyway, I'll go ahead and bring in his brother here, G1 Soundwave, and there's not a huge size difference between them. And just for kicks, I put in new Masterpiece Laserbeak in G1 Soundwave there. And let me just go ahead and put G1 Soundwave in front of Masterpiece Soundwave, and Masterpiece Soundwave is somewhat bigger, but he doesn't absolutely dwarf G1 Soundwave or anything. And just for kicks, I'm going to go ahead and grab his arch nemesis here, G1 Blaster. And actually, Blaster is a lot larger than Masterpiece Soundwave in alt mode. I don't know if that carries over to robot mode yet, because I haven't put the two of them next to each other in robot mode. Just an interesting side note. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap up the vehicle mode portion. I'll be back to conclude with robot. Oh, almost forgot to show you all the other cassettes that he comes with in cassette mode. Here we have Buzzsaw in the case. I like the way he looks. Next up, we've got Frenzy here. Following up with that, we've got Ravage, and where's Rumble? And here's Rumble. And Laserbeak's in there. G1 got Masterpiece Laserbeak in Soundwave and G1 Laserbeak in Masterpiece Soundwave. So that is going to conclude the cassette mode portion. I'll be back to conclude with robot mode. Okay guys, here I have Soundwave transformed and into his robot mode glory here. We're just going to start this bad boy off just with a few size comparisons just for fun. We'll get one of his big time enemies here. G1 Blaster. Let me scoot these guys over a little bit. Let me actually straighten up Soundwave all the way. And as you can see, G1 Blaster is actually just a hair taller than G1 Soundwave at the head, which I find kind of it's a little amusing actually. Just shows you how large of a toy G1 Blaster really is. He's freaking huge. So yeah, that's a good one. So let's go ahead and get Blaster out of the way here. Next we'll grab his Grandpappy here, G1 Soundwave. And obviously he towers over G1 Soundwave, as you would expect. So let's go ahead and get Soundwave out of the way there. Next we will go with a Masterpiece Seeker, Thundercracker. And he scales pretty darn well with Thundercracker, I think. And finally, just for fun, because this seems to be what all of the recent Masterpieces are scaling around, our good buddy here, MP10 Optimus Prime. And he scales pretty well next to Optimus. Now, one thing I'm kind of hoping Takara / Hasbro does is maybe release a Masterpiece Megatron in, to scale with MP10. I think it would be quite a huge upgrade, just like MP10 was over the original MP01 mold. I mean, because let's be honest, the MP10 mold is much, much better than the original MP01 mold. I mean, at least in my opinion, and I think many fans kind of have that view. I don't know why they couldn't release in this country. Maybe if they sold it as an online exclusive, as an adult collectible, because honestly, I don't think too many people here are buying Little Johnny $120 action figures. I don't think there's a huge market for kids and those types of things. I don't know how restrictive the laws are as far as adult collectibles that would resemble a gun. Come on, Hasbro, let's make it happen. Let's let's do the mold and then maybe sell it as an online exclusive just to adult collectors. Don't try to sell this thing in a freaking toy store. Just sell it online, and I bet you a lot of fans would buy that scale of Megatron. Just saying, just an idea. I'm sure you can make a few bucks doing that. Anyway, let's go ahead and just dive into the rest here with Masterpiece Soundwave. I'm going to actually start off with his little minions first, because of course they are an incredibly important part of the whole Soundwave experience, as it were. Because what is Soundwave without his little cassette tape buddies? Let's start off, of course, with his best friend in the world here, Laserbeak. This is the Laserbeak that he comes with. Of course, he's identical to Buzzsaw. It's just Buzzsaw there is in his chest, just for an effect there. And, Buzzsaw is just a recolor of Laserbeak. One cool thing they did with this toy here is, as you can see on his head, he's got a little camera there they used to spy on the Autobots with. I know they used it in the movie, Transformers the movie. I can't remember. I think they might have used it in one or two of the G1 episodes. I'm not sure, honestly. But it's there. It's a nice little detail I think that they added. As far as his articulation, it's pretty good. He can bend there at the wings. He can bend down. Unfortunately, they don't bend up, but they go down. Really, that's the only point on his wing. And his wings can go forward and back. That's just really due to the transformation more than anything else. His neck obviously can go down, and his head can move. And he's got his feet here can move. And overall, I really like the way this Laserbeak looks. And here, just for comparison, is actually G1 Laserbeak. And actually, I think G1 Laserbeak is pretty awesome too. I mean, he's not as cartoon accurate as the Masterpiece, but still, honestly, I think this is kind of a bang-up G1 tape. Really, really nice. So, let's go ahead and put him off to the side. And I'll show off a feature that both Buzzsaw and Laserbeak can do. Really adds to the toy here. You can actually mount them, as you can see here, there's a little clear plastic piece, sticking out of Soundwave's arm, and you can peg Laserbeak on there, and then of course you can do this, and there is Laserbeak talking to Soundwave. Pretty cool. You can also take Laserbeak and peg him onto, of course, like I said, same as Buzzsaw. Peg him onto Soundwave's shoulder. Really cool. Really like the way that looks. Just a real nice, let me go ahead and just lift the camera up so you can see that a little better. Looks real nice. That's definitely a really nice touch. Glad they did that on the figure. That's just a nice homage to many scenes in the cartoon. So I'll go ahead and just take Laserbeak off here. Kind of put him off to the side. Next up, we have Ravage. Now, as far as my opinion on this guy, he's not bad. He's okay. He's not as good looking as the G1 Ravage figure. Unfortunately, I don't have that figure, so this will kind of have to fill in as my G1 Ravage. He's not perfect, but you know, I'm glad they included him. Anyway, he's got a fair amount of articulation. His head can go, you know, his head and his neck can go up and down. He's got ball joint here at the top of his leg. So all manner of movement there. Bends at the knee. His paw moves. On the back legs, they can fold up. He's got 2 points of articulation right there and right there. His paw moves. His tail moves. So overall, not bad, but I think honestly, considering how great all the other figures are, how great looking they are, Ravage is a slight disappointment. He's not terrible or anything, but he is not as good as the rest of the cassettes or Soundwave. It's a shame, but such is life. Okay, next up, we've got the little, what I would call the little punk brothers, for lack of a better term. We've got Rumble and Frenzy. So let's go ahead and just move Soundwave here out of the way. And there's Rumble, because I think Rumble is red, as they say. And there's Frenzy, with his little ground pound action. Now, of course, both of them come with the ground pound accessories. I'll just start off here with Rumble, bring him up close to the camera. That way you can see what they look like just with his guns. And honestly, it looks really good. His gun can mount on his back or in his hand. And he's got a good amount of articulation on him for such a little guy. He's got ball joints on his feet there. Bends at the knee. Top of the leg, forward, back, in, out. And he rotates at the top of the leg. And he's got two kind of knee joints there. He's got no waist rotation. Rotates at the shoulder. Bends at the elbow. Head rotates. And even his little fist here can bend in a little bit. I mean, this little guy has more articulation than what, you know, 99.9% of all G1 toys had. And that's just really good engineering on such a small toy. Anyway, and of course, here's his little buddy here, Frenzy, and he's in the famous ground pound position, which is really cool, and that looks really nice. Just give you a 360 of him. Oh, letting to trip over there. And beautiful, beautiful figure. Absolutely love the way these two guys look. Go ahead and get him out of the way. And you can actually integrate their ground pound accessories with Soundwave if you choose to. I'm probably not going to do this because I don't think I've ever seen this, and I don't really love the way it looks. But this is how the ground pound pieces, come packaged. And you can actually mount them onto Soundwave's arm. And kind of have them be an arm weapon. Personally, like an arm cannon, I don't really care for that. But it's an option if you like it. And you can stretch him out. He's got a big old arm cannon. Yeah, I don't really love the way that looks. But it's an option if you like it. And Soundwave comes with even more accessories. He comes with an Energon Cube. And the cool thing about this Energon Cube is one piece of it comes off here. And you can actually mount this thing when it wants to cooperate anyway. Come on, baby. Go on there. Or not. I love when things don't cooperate when you're trying to make these videos. It worked perfectly every time before this. Ah, there we go. Remember how sometimes it'd be ordered to make Energon Cubes? There you go. Pretty freaking cool. I'm really glad they included that. Let's take that off. He also comes with, in a few episodes, he was asked to analyze data, and sometimes you would see it on his chest, his data analysis. It would show up like in a little grid, and there'd be illustration of a jet or a fuel source or something. It just fits right over his regular cassette door, just like the Energon Cube. And you know, the Japanese release of this actually came with some cutouts that were included on the instructions that you could put underneath it to make it look like it was analyzing some data. I'm sure you could probably find those on the internet and print them out. Probably fairly easily. I don't know if I'll bother doing that or not, but it's just something you can probably do. He also comes with the Megatron gun mode. This is actually the same gun that came with MP01. It's the same size and everything. There's a few slight differences between this and the one that came with MP01. This barrel is slightly different. There was a red paint app on the one that came with MP01, but overall it's 99.9% identical to the one that came with MP01. And we all know what Megatron and gun mode looks like. But it's really nice that they included this. You know, I really like the way this weapon looks. Put him off to the side. And lastly, well, before I get to his main blaster anyway, he comes with this thing. I think he might have used it in like one episode or something. And it's really easy to utilize on him. All you got to do, and you can do this on either hand, obviously. Just fold out the panel. Slide his fist in. And she just pegs right in. And there you go. Pretty cool. Anyway, as you would expect for a masterpiece, he is absolutely loaded with articulation. His feet can pretty much go in any direction you want. Bends at the knee, of course. He doesn't go forward on his legs too much, but no big deal, I guess. Goes back fairly well. It's really due to the skirt around him more than just a limitation of the toy. It's just the way the skirt is, so it kind of limits his articulation a little on his legs. But they're still pretty good. I mean, you can obviously still get him pretty dynamically posed. He, of course, rotates at the leg. You know, out to the side, nice ratchet joint there. He's got waist rotation, shoulder rotation, double jointed elbows. And of course, he's just like every other recent masterpiece as far as the hand goes. His bottom three fingers are one piece. His forefinger is double jointed, comes out, and he can point. And his thumb doesn't move. And as far as his head goes, you know, it can pretty much go any direction. Really well articulated. And overall, this guy is just really, really, really nice. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on him so you can just see some of the really nice detail on his head and stuff. I mean, he is a great looking representation of G1 Soundwave. I mean, that is just one real nice looking figure there. I mean, great representation of G1 Soundwave. Really loving it. You know, just move down him some here. I mean, that is just real nice. Love the way that looks. And of course, he does come with his iconic blaster. So, it's just like every other recent Masterpiece. He's got the little pegs here on the gun. So you just grab him. Of course, there's a slot in his hand. And then, of course, once you do that, he holds his blaster real well. Overall, this guy is really good. He's not perfect, but I don't think we're going to get a better G1 Soundwave than this at any point. I'd be highly shocked if we did. I would say you definitely should pick him up. I was able to get mine just by calling. I actually got him a week ago. I called Toys R Us Friday at 10 a.m., and right when they opened up, because that's when they get their trucks in, and I asked them to hold one for me. Luckily they did, and I was able to go grab them. I think this guy's going to be kind of tough to find. He's going to be a very high demand figure, and you know, going to Toys R Us is the only way to get him. So if you're lucky enough to have one nearby, call him up, ask him to hold him for you, you know, or maybe you'll just luck out and see him in the store. At any rate, happy hunting on finding him. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap this whole thing up. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.